is April 20th. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com, presented by Munganast, St. Louis Acura, and Royal Banks of Missouri. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey and Rammer. For the first time this year, the Cardinals are changing it up just a little bit in those first four in the lineup.
And I almost called it today, doing a radio show here in St. Louis on 590. I kind of felt there would be a change. And I've been saying since, the middle of last year that when Tommy Edman's hot, lead him off. When he's not, bat him down. So how do you ride that wave and know when it's going to start, know when it's going to end, how to ride that big wave all the way to the shore? Well, sometimes it's just gut feel and matchups, but they're going to take a shot with it tonight. I called Tommy Edman leading off, and I got the first 5 batters right. I had Carlson 9, but putting Nootbaar in instead of Carlson changed it up. I really liked what Marmol did today.
Yeah, you give the lefties a chance to throw against to bat against the very hard throwing Sandy Alcantara. You put them out there, you see what they can do. You know you're going to see. You give them a chance to start in the game, work them in, because as we talked about yesterday marked the start of 20 straight days of baseball for the Cardinals. So it's going to be a while before they get a day off, and you want to work in some of these reserves as they go.
If you hear a loud noise here in the Fenton studios, I've got a dog ready to chase a cat through the house. So
all right.
Just letting you know. The lineup thing is interesting, and I think we're going to see a lot of the basic things, but here's a lineup thing to just a little bit of heads up. Everybody is fired up about Nolan Gorman hitting a home run every day.
Yep.
AAA. He's a hot prospect, a number 1 draft pick. Everybody's fired up about the left-handed hitter. Everybody believes he's going to get a shot in the big leagues this season. Does that mean September? Does it mean tomorrow? Somewhere in between. What's got to happen for that to come earlier than later is there's got to be a distinct failure from one of the other outfielder DHs, either Dickerson or Carlson or Nootbaar. It's not going to come from the infield. It's going to come from one of those other 3.
As I've had friends who don't really aren't diehard, follow the Cardinals every day, text me about Nolan Gorman's performance down in Memphis. I mean, it is catching a lot of people's attention right now, with him being a name that we've heard for quite a few years, and 5 games in a row with home runs, and just the total of home runs is so impressive. And I said that it would take an injury to a Corey Dickerson or a Tommy Edman in order to call Nolan Gorman up. You assume that when the rosters go back down to 26, that Lars Nootbaar will probably go down to AAA.
I don't think so. I don't think you can afford to have fewer hitters. Do you?
I feel, but you have to go 13 and 13. That you have to have 13 position players, 13 pitchers on the roster. That's one of the new rules, is that it has to be even. So if you're doing that, your bench is Kisner, Sosa, or Dickerson, and I guess would Nootbaar be that 4th guy then?
Well, you're going to have your backup catcher, your backup infielder, Pujols, Dickerson, and Nootbaar.
Okay, so but if he stays up still, that's left-handed bats from Nootbaar and Dickerson. Both of those guys have to really struggle, and Dickerson more than Gorman, Dickerson more than Nootbaar, because Nootbaar, you could send Nootbaar down, you can bring up any of those other guys and not start the clock on them. But Dickerson's a guy that you're not investing a lot of money in this year, but you did pay him to be your major league left-handed DH.
And therefore, if you're going to set the odds, it would be Nootbaar 1, Carlson 2. People got to remember, Carlson's still just a kid. I don't think it's going to happen, and I don't want it to, because I don't want to see failure.
Yeah.
But because of the money, and not too much as you point out, but because of the little bit of money to Dickerson, you probably hang with him a little longer. But if one of those three is just zero production, that'll be Nolan Gorman's best shot at coming up earlier than later.
Speaking of odds and money, last night it was a very easy bet with the Adam Wainwright 4.5 strikeouts to bet the over on that. He ended up with 6 in 5 2/3 on the game. I didn't get my Albert Pujols home run though, but hey, you know what? Another very impressive performance.
Yeah.
It is just fun to watch him in a
Yes.
different way than it was fun to watch him 12 years ago. 12
Agreed.
years ago, every day he would be out there and you would just go, holy shit, what did he just do in this game? And now we're seeing the elder version of Albert Pujols go out there, knock a little double, get a base hit, him running from first to home. It's enjoyable. And I tell you, I didn't watch a whole lot of highlights when he was with the Angels, but I can't imagine that he smiled as much in Anaheim as he's smiling right now here in St. Louis.
No way. Absolutely not. This, as far as pure joy represented by smiling, this is the most in pure enjoyment that he's had, in my view.
Yeah, Katie Wu had the article in The Athletic today, a new teammate here of ours at Claibs Online, talking about just the 48 hours that it took of text messages and the kind of connect the dots to get Albert here to St. Louis and who all was involved in making that happen. And right now, I mean, he is hitting 389 on the season. I believe he is 7 for 18, I think is what he is so far. I think if he would have just hit those 2 home runs, and those would have only been the 2 hits he's had here in St. Louis so far, I think we've been like, hey, great, you know what? He's going to hit home runs. But the fact that he's line drive singles, that he's doing these other things, is making this the $2.5 million they paid him or whatever that is. It's making that well worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it still looks like now he's only got a couple of hits against right-handers, but as long as he can hold his own, I think it's going to be more of an even split with Dickerson or whoever the left-handed opportunities are for the near future. Again, they may churn the roster a little bit here and over the next month or so, and we'll see how that goes.
I have not looked ahead yet to see if the Cardinals are facing Hunter Green this weekend. I would love to see Albert Pujols get an at-bat against the Reds rookie Hunter Green and just see if that bat speed can connect with 102 miles an hour and and just see how far he can hit a baseball at the Great American Ballpark.
But you wouldn't want to failure against 102 doesn't really mean anything because there aren't very many that are hitting that hard.
No. They are the Cardinals are facing another very good pitcher tonight, a former St. Louis Cardinal in Sandy Alcantara. If you remember, he was part of the Marcell Ozuna trade several years ago. As that trade was Sandy Alcantara, Zach Gallen, and Daniel Castano, and Magneuris Sierra, who you don't hear about at all anymore, for Marcell Ozuna back in 2017 for the 2018 season. Alcantara, so I went and I looked this up. Alcantara last year, 201 strikeouts on the season in 33 games started. This year, through only 2 starts, 11 innings, only has 9 strikeouts on the year. The Cardinals as a whole, this is from what we have seen with the St. Louis Cardinals and their offense in recent years, this might come as a shock to you. They have the second fewest strikeouts in all of baseball right now. They have played less games than everybody else in baseball. They will be playing their 10th game of the season tonight. They are the last team that has not reached 10 games on the season. But so far, through the first 9 games, only 60 strikeouts for the Cardinals this year. So, what do you expect to see out of them in Sandy Alcantara tonight?
Moreover, to me, the number that matters, because it matters with pitchers. So again, we've talked about it before. Baseball statistics are an accounting ledger. They have to balance. So if a 2-to-1 strikeout walk ratio is your goal, that or better, then you flip it for hitters. And the Cardinals are in that range with the offensive players and doing a very nice job of that. And so you can strike out more if you walk more. You got to get people on base, and they are drawing walks. So that's good. I don't know what to expect tonight. Here's a hard throwing guy. If he comes right at him, the Cardinals are going to attack, and let's see. I'm not betting the game. I would ask you to predict. You're betting.
You know what? I might just throw it on the under for the strike. There's nothing about it. I like to just bet the really stupid stuff on the game.
No
just kind of the props and just kind of give me something to watch. A game within a game, which you came to me earlier today. The story of Charlie Blackmon. Now that betting is more accepted in the game of baseball, a very interesting story out of Denver, Colorado.
Charlie is going to represent or be a spokesperson for Maxim.bet, currently only being used in Colorado, but there are plans for expansion. And I think that's fine. It's business. Do whatever you're going to do. However, the thing that really gets me is the number one rule is you can't bet on the game. Charlie Blackmon's going to make money working for a betting syndicate. Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame. He broke the rule. I get it. My stance now and has always been Pete shouldn't work in the game. He violated the number one rule, but he should be in the Hall of Fame because his career number, he earned it. And so I think it's even more clear. I think it's important for the baseball writers to go back and look, see what is happening now and realize those standards don't hold up.
Yeah, he is he's going to be the first player to capitalize on opportunities in the sports betting space that were included in baseball's new CBA. Marketing and sponsorship deals with sports books were restricted to league and team entities, but prohibited for players and coaches prior to the CBA, and that was put in place this offseason. So players, coaches, and MLB personnel remain prohibited from betting on baseball. So that's we'll see how much more that expands as the season goes on for some of these teams and players.
And the more guys that take advantage, it just shows that yes, Pete Rose bet. His punishment should be not being in the Hall of Fame because it ignores the obvious all-time hit leader. It's really kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But not working in the game, that's the punishment. And it's I'm fine with that punishment, but he should be recognized. And good luck to the players that are going to work with bettors. And if a scandal comes out of it, it gives us more fodder to talk about.
Well, if you do well and on your bets, you can take all of that money and open up an account at Royal Banks, right, Rammer?
Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. 314-212-1500. Royal Banks, as they expand, they always make sure that each and every branch feels like your hometown bank at Royal Banks of Missouri.
We are Daily Cards Live, presented each and every day by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Royal Banks of Missouri. Back again tomorrow, hopefully previewing a potential Cardinal sweep, as tonight they have game 2 of 3 down in Miami. Game starts at 5:40. Mike Claiborne and Rick Horton will have the call on KMOX and the game on TV as well. Enjoy it tonight. We will be back tomorrow right here on ClaibsOnline.com.
At St. Louis Acura, we have over 330 pre-owned vehicles of all makes and models. And all of them are covered by our St. Louis Acura Promise and backed by our Better Business Bureau A+ rating and 30 years in business. We also service all makes and models of vehicles, including glass and bumper repair, paint touch-ups, and full mechanical services from one of our 24 technicians. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you, no matter what vehicle drives you.